answer the question you asked earlier, about if I was going to advise a 22-year-old, like 22, 23, I think you asked it, innit?
Yeah, 22 to 28.
Like a young person, if they know that they want to get into property long term and they want to do a lot of stuff in property because they see loads of people getting success from it. If I was 22 again, I would actually advise myself or somebody young to work in property. So like get a job in property for a little while. Because Moy said, education. Education comes in, obviously right now it's very popular, everyone's selling courses, everyone's doing mentoring, but actually the best way, get a job with a developer, like somebody who's doing property development, work as an apprentice with them, or get a job in a property development company, or even an estate agency. Even if you do like a year in an estate agency, get to understand what it's like on the other side. Do you know what I mean? Even if it's you work in construction, people who are building houses, because part of the game where I've struggled in taking losses is not knowing how to identify good builders or working with a good build team when you're like doing refurbishments or renovations. If you've worked on that side, let's say you're good with your hands as a young person, go and get a job with a proper building company, get to understand how to do construction so that when you need it later on, you know how to deal with them. Or if you want to work in an estate agent or work with a mortgage broker, do you know what I mean? Like all these other things that are crucial to making property a success, I would tell a young person to work for like a year or two when they're young on the other side of things so that they gain proper knowledge, and then when they can come to invest in themselves, they can, because that's one of the best ways, I'd say, anyway.
And just to add to that as well, it's about the power team, right? It's about building your network. Good broker, good solicitor, good builders. You need this, do you know what I'm saying? If you don't, like, especially a builder would done everything. you get a wrong builder in there, the whole thing is...
Like a few of my brethren who, they buy property together, like, some of them, like, for instance, there's the plumber in the team. Okay, you know what I mean? There's the builder in the team. So like they've all kind of got their own skill sets. So if they bought somewhere and it was messed up, they could do most of it by themselves. So their weekends are focused on them just boom, 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 knocking out the jobs by themselves. So it's a lot easier for them because they work as that unit. It's like I feel like they kind of knew what they wanted to get into from young, and just kind of just follow that. You do this, you do that, you be the electrician, boom. Let's form like Voltron. And it works. It makes sense. It works for them. It works for them.
I learned from building when I was refurbing. Anyone that can jump on a job straight away is probably not any good. Mate, I learned the hard way.
When you was doing your restaurant.
Yeah, when I was refurbing. Anyone that you can ring. Oh yeah, I'm free tomorrow, mate. Everybody that was free tomorrow or free the next day, I suffered. Most good builders are in demand. People are doing projects 2 years in advance just to wait for this builder. And then you're bringing someone who's free. Yeah, I'm free, mate. What do you want done? Yeah, I do a bit of everything, mate. Plaster, I can do electrics and do I learned the hard way.
It's like the property that I'm doing right now. So what I've done is I've got 5 different teams in there.
Okay.
Give me a quote to see what they're saying and stuff like that. And
was that before you bought the property? So did you take the risk of not knowing what it might cost you before getting it? That's a mistake I made with my restaurant in Brum. I just took it, not knowing what it was going to cost. And when I heard electrics was 10 bags to rewire, I said, for cable and wire. Mother, I almost fell over. It's big. I said, just to change, just to rewire. He said, yeah, mate, £9 mate. First fix, second fix. I said, what's all that? And I made mistakes. For instance, like when I got guys to build, before knowing where I wanted all the plumbing to go. So imagine I've started laying floor, laying everything. I then said to the plumber, I want the bar to be there. He said, mate, because of the water needs to drop at a certain angle. So he said that it's not going to work because the floor is higher than something. I had to rip up all the floor.
That's it.
No, because remember, because this was a restaurant I was just refurbing.
That's what I'm saying. So
I didn't know. I just thought the bar's there. I just didn't, just put a little wire there. Just change the tap. Then the day they came in, they finished my life. Electrics. For someone that was 2,000 square feet. 10 bags to rewire.
No, trust me. That's
electric.
The price. That's the price.
There's a lot of fun.
It's a highly skilled task, and they charge a lot of money.
A lot of our parents didn't get us into money with our hands.
Or
is there plumber? You can't be doing plumbing. You can't be plumbing. Changing water leak. Brother, do you know what they're making? My mate's electrician. He now does the pat testing. He's making like 8-9 bills a day. All he does, he goes to the site. He does the little test, gives you a certificate, £300. Goes to the next one, 300. He's there for 30 minutes to an hour.
And that's it. Here's a joke. You know, Jaim, when he was 16, he went to college to study to be an electrician. He dropped out after the first year. The way I was costing him, because you know what it is, I made one of my brethrens call and say, "Rah, how much you made a day?"
Yeah.
I said, "Bro, like I don't know why you dropped out." I said, "Rah, if you stay there for 3 years, because he's what 19 now." I said, by now he'll be laughing.
Like just bricks and mortar. Like just when I started doing refurb, and man's telling me, "Yeah, mate, day rate's 250, mate." I said,
Yeah.
What are you doing? He said, "Yeah, mate, 250, mate, and I can't start until probably about 2 months."
That's a lot still.
I said, what?
That's big things there.
I said, what?
Yeah.
And then remember the electrician, they're charging per points. They do it like, you know, and I didn't get all of that. So where I wanted so much plug sockets, he was telling me, I said, don't worry, the one plug is okay for the year. They can stretch it. We'll buy extension cable, don't worry. Yeah, I learned the hard way.
You have to plan. And the benefit is, I know Asa, I know Nelson, who are, you know, they're in construction, so, you know, they come down and say, look, how much would this cost? So I've got a rough idea. So now I'm going to get the team in and they give me quotes.
So would you say you've got kind of like an eye now, roughly, so you can kind of go into a build, not like an expert, but you can walk into a flat and say, this is roughly going to cost me plus minus maybe 50 grand, maybe 40 or 60, so you can kind of gauge yourself now what it's going to cost you roughly.
Yeah, 100. I think naturally, the more deals you do, and the more properties you go and view, it just comes naturally. Do you understand? It may not be on point at the end, but you're very close.
What would you say your field is now? Are you more rental? Are you more HMOs and basically get like a 2-bed, break it down and get free? What would you say is your... So if someone's coming to you directly, what would you say they should come to you for? Like what would you say that this is like, I can stand proud and say I know this?
I said at the moment right now, I know how to buy properties cheap.
Okay.
I know how to add value.
Okay. And that's the refurb side of it.
Yeah,
so
the refurb side.
Maybe renovating the kitchen and bathroom is the most important part size.
Yeah, 100%. And just seeing how to add value to that asset in order to build more cash flow. My main thing is about building cash flow and not leaving any dead money in any property deal. That's the main thing.
And the rent to rent thing, obviously rent to rent, I'm assuming that works in the sense where I might get a 4-bed. Yeah. So I'll find the landlord, say to the landlord, listen, I can guarantee you £2,000 a rent. Give the property to me. I'm letting you know that I'm going to be renting it out. Yeah. So don't worry about what's happening. There's your 2 bags, and I guess what you then do maybe for that 2 bags is maybe have 5 rooms, and then do 750, 750, 750, 750. So now on that 2 bags, you've now collected maybe 4 bags, and that's how you was able to make £2 grand a month from a property without owning it and without having to spend the big capital of maybe 50 bags to do the same thing. Exactly. The only thing is that you obviously can't sell it, but you're getting a rental income from it.
Yeah,
I guess.
And then you tie the landlord in for like 5 years or 3 years, so you got that guaranteed income coming in.
So technically, somebody could. So maybe you. All you've got to do maybe is have a deposit for maybe, I don't know, what is it now? 6 weeks deposit now?
5 weeks deposit.
5 weeks deposit and 1 month's rent. So technically, for maybe say 3 or 4 bags, you could technically take on a property and potentially could be making a return of maybe 152 grand as a passive income. 100%. And maybe if you've got 4 or 5 of them that you're doing, that could be 6.5, 7 grand a month without having to technically work.
You're still working.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Yeah, you're not sort of like
traditional work.
Traditional work.
100%.
And you say that's kind of the way you've kind of gone, in a sense, or
I wouldn't say that's not how I started in the game. I started in the game literally just buying properties, adding value, Like I would say at the middle section of my game, that's when I started doing rent to rent to build up more cash flow, and now I've gone back to acquiring more properties.